When it comes to absolute flash and getting the best, most elite playmakers in the country into the building, I have zero doubt that Deion Sanders will be able to do so. I think in terms of receivers, backs, even quarterbacks, secondary players, even linebackers, I think he's going to have zero problem recruiting the best of the best. You see, the flash and the excitement and the ego and all that stuff is going to play well into those positions. My question is Deion Sanders going to be able to recruit well enough on the offensive and defensive line in order to win actual championships? You see, those skill positions, they're all about the flash. They're all about the flair. They're all about the popularity, the spotlight. Let me be seen. And that is what Deion has brought to Colorado in spades. Zero question. All eyes of the nation right there in Boulder, Colorado, in a way like it's never been anywhere. But the big problem with Colorado this year is not their skill players. It's not their secondary. It is squarely on those lines, in the trenches. That offensive line is weak, and against Oregon, they got absolutely dominated. The defensive line is weak, which is why they get dominated against the elite offenses. It's starting to look to me like Deion has the potential to become a head coach much like Lincoln Riley, where the offense is going to put up big numbers, big plays, big skill players. That's all there anywhere he goes. But the defense is going to be less than desirable. The offensive line is going to be a little bit weak because is he going to be able to build a culture of you come here, this is what we specialize in? See, a guy like Larry Johnson at Ohio State is well known, well respected as a defensive line guru, a guy who routinely pumps the NFL full of the defensive line players, the defensive ends, defensive tackles. That's what he's known for. So perhaps Deion just has to get a guy in the building who can coach these guys up and build that reputation, but it may take a few years. My question is, will Deion ever get the offensive defensive line right? Is he capable of recruiting that position, seeing as that's really not what he's all about? Because offensive linemen, they're not going to go to Colorado because the spotlight is there. They're not going to go to Colorado because there's a lot of flash, because you don't see a lot of offensive linemen with brand deals. It's just not really the position that is, you don't really get that there. So are these players in the trenches, the lesser known players, the guys who are not going to get all the glitz and glamour, going to go to a place like Colorado where everyone around them will be getting elevated and hyped up and it's all fun and it's all flash and it's all flair while they're sitting there just doing their job quietly? I don't know. There's plenty of other schools in the country where you can go to who are well known for producing NFL linemen. That's my only question. The next question is, even if he does become a guy who will win a bunch of games, which, let's be honest, he will. Deion will win a bunch of games at Colorado. If he ends up being like a Lincoln Riley who wins a bunch of games, but when you go up against your toughest competition and your best defensive lines, you have a tough day and you end up losing and coming up just a little short. Maybe he never wins a national title, but he becomes one of those guys who is consistently in the conversation for a playoff berth. Is that good enough? I don't know. Ask yourself that question. Will Deion ever get the trenches right in recruiting? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.